And then finally, runtime security. We all like to think, you know what, I'm using a professional data center, I'm using Microsoft Azure, it's all secure because of the physical security in there. And that's all great. You know, it's very unlikely that somebody's going to be able to, you know, just run through the gates of a professional data center these days and get physical access to a cabinet and start plugging in wires. You know, if you, like in Texas, if you've ever toured a rack-space data center, you see armed guards with very intimidating looking weapons that are standing guard physically over the actual premises of the building. But it's not that. It's how we use the physical security and how we decide to alert ourselves about that. But you notice that I use the term runtime. Runtime security is not the same as physical security, because we can actually gain access to a software system without being physically present, right? And so a few things to use. There are Microsoft security recommendations on Azure. Make use of those. Also use SIEM, Azure Sentinel. By the way, SIEM stands for Security Information Event Management. And then for every programmer, when you're thinking of what to put in the logs, what kind of telemetry, that topic is alerts versus alarms. And so you could have something that goes into the logs. Great. But are you going to alert people to that? Or are you going to sound the alarm? Now, first of all, you have to have good logs. You have to have good telemetry. Azure Application Insights is your friend there. Of course, there's a lot of good products around there that do a good job, but you're going to emit events, emit metrics, all kinds of things. But some of them represent something that people on your team need to be alerted to because it could be concerning. And so you need to identify which those events are. And then alarms is a different type of alert. It's a type of alert that passes some type of threshold where everybody needs to be alerted. It could be an all hands on deck, or it could be if you have a dedicated team monitoring it. It is something that's not just a, hey, just thought you should know. It's a, no. There is a problem here, and there is something that somebody needs to do right away. That's an alarm. And an alert can become an alarm whenever it passes a particular threshold that you configure. So make sure that you've had the discussion in your team and ask about what should be alerts, what should be alarms. Now, of course, functional things like CPU memory, you know, that could fall into that category as well. Maybe you need to scale the software or whatnot, something went offline. But from a security perspective, yeah, if somebody is sitting there on a login page just guessing password after password, or a password bot is trying to do a brute force attack, well, guess what? You need to have something automated that's detecting that and either automatically mitigating it, alerting. And in the case of, well, think about this. If somebody logged in after having guessed the password, you know, beyond a certain threshold, you might not trust that login. That could be an alarm, or any number of other scenarios that are appropriate for your system. And then finally, maintain a formal on-call schedule. This goes not just for security, but also just for regular business operations. So if something happens, if you're going to have alarms, then you need to have an on-call schedule, because when an alarm happens, you know, you need to know, okay, who's responsible for actually responding to the alarm.